So it sounds like your executive team has really taken the decision they're going to build this with intentionality from the
Hmm.
ground up. Now, I note that you had served for some time as SVP of, what
Hmm.
was it, core IT. What's the difference in that role at Brenntag versus the role you have right now?
Yeah, so I was recruited into Brenntag to really help deploy all the enterprise architectures. We didn't have the enterprise architecture. So, in other words, in many companies, if you see the mature company, especially multinational companies, they already established what is my enterprise standards for CRM, SRM, ERPs, and your workplace, your integrations, and all of how you think about data streamings and everything. Those standards already been defined. When I came into the organization, it was the first time, and that's why it's exciting time and challenging time that we actually have to determine what those should be for the companies. Well, it's transitioned from decentralized model to federated models during that time. So it was exciting for me to actually deploy Salesforce as our strategic partner. So we have to hand selected 4 to 5 strategic partners, which is our SaaS providers or our, uh, I would say, SI, what we call a SaaS provider, and also SI providers to help us reach to the enterprise with the volume and the scalability that we need. So my role was really make sure that we have the providers as well as the SaaS partnerships that we have across.
And so then you took this role as Chief Digital Data and Technology Officer, which I read that title that it's got some lean in for this digital data excellence initiative, but you need to speak enough geek to really understand, this mishmash and collection of technology systems we've got and what's possible. So really you're straddling that line as a business technologist, leaning in on where you can create value, understanding data and systems a little bit. Um, I'm assuming you were the first person appointed to that title at the company there. I don't know if somebody preceded you or not, but how's the evolution of that happen given the strategy and the phases they're going through and a formal initiative called Digital Data Excellence?
Yeah, so at Brenntag in 2021, we actually had a chief transformation officer, which actually not only cover the digital data and technology, but they also cover excellence, indirect procurement, and also other cost out initiatives from process perspective. The company made a decision to be more focused on what we want to achieve, especially during the strategy time. So the role of myself has been then created to make it more focused on the digital data and technology side, and then the excellence, which is Six Sigma. How do we continue to produce continuous improvements, as well as for the business that then become a different sector of a different management board to take a look at that. I think the whole entire moving into it is we see the whole synergies to see how this role can partner with the business. So if you look at entire horizon too, even though my team specifically is here to deliver what we so called the business differentiator with digital, we call it the technology and data. However, there's nowhere else that IT does not touch. We touch all the M&A integrations, we touch all the sustainability, and we touch all the business models they need to form in order to have our ingredient business and our essential business to operate independently. So IT actually sits everywhere in terms of an organization. So I think what it does is to make sure we break down the silos, we are more focused, and we deliver what we should be in order to position Brenntag to be a data and technology first.
So how has that evolved with an IT governance lens, using that word broadly about how decisions are made and really who has decision rights for different kinds of
Mhm.
IT and data decisions? Has the company given you a badge and a gun? I mean, that you really are the sheriff of this stuff, or are you really a UN negotiator and you go around and make lots of visits and a lot of entrees?
I think could be a combination of both. I think there's a very much differentiation between a German headquarter company versus an American headquarter company. There's a different aspects of it. So for us specifically is the decisions are made steered by our four management board members that we have. And the four management board consists of a group CEO, two divisional CEO, and our CFO. The fourth management board will steer the business and prioritize for the business in terms of where we're going to go. We also have a functional exco members of each divisions. Those are the ones set for the business P&L and profits steering how they want to do. So imagine when the digital data technology comes through, a lot of time it's top down and bottom up. So then you have to do, like you said, it's a much of a combination of both a negotiation and prioritizations. And based on the EBITDA returns, then we take a look at what should be prioritized based on the returns and business criticality and long-term projections.